Excerpt from Diary of a Nursing Sister on the Western Front, 1914 to 1915. During World War I, nurses helped to save the lives of countless soldiers who were injured during battle. The following set of diary entries was written by a woman who served as a senior nurse during the war. The anonymous writer was headed to Le Havre, France, by boat from England to support the Allied war effort as a medic. Tuesday, 8 p.m., August 18th. Orders just gone round that there are to be no lights after dark, so I am writing this quickly. We had a great send-off in Sackville Street in our motor bus and went on board about 2 p.m. From then till 7, we watched the embarkation going on our own ship and another. We have a lot of RE and RFA and ASC, Royal Engineers, Royal Field Artillery, Army Service Corps, and a great many horses and pontoons and ambulance wagons. The horses were very difficult to embark, poor dears. It was an exciting scene all the time. I don't remember anything quite so thrilling as our start off from Ireland. All the 600 cocky men on board, and everyone on every other ship, and all the crowds on the quay, and in boats, and on lighthouses, waved and yelled. Then we and the officers and the men, severally, had the King's proclamation read out to us about doing our duty for our country and God blessing us, and how the King is following our every movement. We are now going to snatch up a very basic supper and turn in, only rugs and blankets. Wednesday, August 19th. We are having a lovely, calm, and sunny voyage, slowed down in the night for a fog. I had a berth by an open porthole, and though felt rather cold with one blanket and a rug, I enjoyed it very much. It was a cold sea bath in the morning. We live on oatmeal biscuits and potted meat, with chocolate and tea and soup squares, some bread, butter, sometimes, and cocoa at bedtime. There is a routine by bugle call on troop ships, with a guard, police, and fatigues. The soldiers sleep on bales of forage in the after well deck, and all over the place. We have one end on the first-class cabin forward, and the officers have the second-class aft for sleeping and meals. There is a sociable blend on deck all day. 2 medical officers here were both serving in South Africa at number 7, when I was, though they were captains in those days. We have had great fun reminiscing about old times and all the people we knew. One officer is commanding a field ambulance and goes with the fighting line. There are 200 men for field ambulances on board. At midday, we passed a French cruiser going the opposite way. They waved and yelled, and we waved and yelled. We are out of sight of the English or French coast now. I believe we are to arrive early tomorrow morning, and will have a long train journey probably. But nobody knows anything for certain except where we land, Le Havre, France. It seems so long since we heard anything about the war, but it is only since yesterday morning. Thursday, 5 p.m., August 20th, Le Havre. We got in about 9 o'clock this morning. Le Havre is a very picturesque town with very high houses, a great many docks, and an enormous amount of shipping. The wharves were, as usual, lined with waving, yelling crowds. During the morning, the horses, supplies, and equipment were disembarked. We went off in a taxi in batches of 5 to the Convent de Saint-Jean d'Arc, an enormous empty school, totally devoid of any furniture. Luckily, the school washhouse has quite good basins and taps, and we are all camping out, 3 in a room, to sleep on the floor, as our camp kit isn't available. No one knows if we shall be here one night or a week or forever. It is a glorious place with huge high rooms, huge open casements, and broad staircases and halls. The windows look over the town to the sea. We are high up on a hill. There's no food here, so we sit on the floor and make our own breakfast and tea, and go to a very swanky hotel for lunch and dinner. To our joy, a room full of mattresses has just been discovered, and we have all hauled one up to our rooms, so we shall be in luxury. The whole town is flying flags since the troops began to come in. All the biggest shops and buildings fly all 4 of the Allies. Friday, August 21st. Intercession Day at home. There is a beautiful chapel in the convent. There is almost as much censoring about the movement of the French troops in the French papers as there is about ours in the English, and not a great deal about the movements of the Germans. We had a very good night on our mattresses, but it was rather cold toward morning with only one rug.